I have started teaching free basic electrical classes at the local libraries, the third Saturday of every month. I started this last summer. I found out about a group that was doing it for single mom. And I was raised by a single mom, so that meant a ton to me. So I pursued finding these people that were doing this and asked how I could help. And they allowed me to come in and just help facilitate teaching the class. Very basic. And so I was posting on Facebook, social media that I was doing this. And I had people reaching out going, man, I would love to go to something like that. So through this, I met the director of the library and asked if I could have some time with him. And I sat down and pitched the idea. I said, look, I don't want anything. I will supply everything and do it. So I started doing this without any idea that I would get work from it. I mean, I guess it's not why I did it. But man, the first class, I sold a $10,000 job.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Scott Parker, who is the owner and founder of Rhino Electric Services. Scott is a learner. We were just talking about some of the stuff that he was engaging with, and I can tell that this guy has been around the corner and has grown an incredible business. So I'm excited to speak with him here today. Scott, tell us your story, man. How'd you get into the space?
Andrew, first of all, thanks for having me, man. I'm very honored. So I got started in the blue collar trades when I was in diapers. My dad was a carpenter. My dad's two brothers are carpenters. My dad's youngest brother is an electrician. My grandfather's an electrician.
Wow.
So I was basically born into it, man. I think as long as I can remember, I've been around some type of construction job. So I did carpentry work for a while in between high school in the summers, working with my dad, and just enough to kind of like doing woodworking, but not what I wanted to do for a living. So I actually left for a while, trying a few little different things, and then eventually found myself into the electrical space. A friend of mine told me about a company that was looking for an electrical apprentice. And I said, well, let's go try this. And man, literally the first day on the job, within probably 2 hours, I knew I had found what I was going to do the rest of my life. And that was a little over 4 years ago.
Wow.
I have just absolutely loved electrical work ever since.
I love that, man. Are you guys mostly residential, commercial, a little bit of both?
We are mostly residential, probably 70% residential service, and we do some commercial service. Don't really very seldom do any type of new construction work. I will occasionally work for a customer that's building a home, custom, where we'll go wire it for them. It's really not our bread and butter, man. It's not what we shine at the most. Getting in and getting out, knocking out service calls, fixing things that are not working. That's where we put our superhero cape on, and I think where we shine the most.
Well, where are you guys at now in terms of size or scale? Like, what's the overall revenue or sales or whatever you feel comfortable sharing?
So we're right at $1 million. We've been holding kind of consistent. I am trying to break that $1 million. We did in 2020. We did a little over 1.2, and then in 2023, I started looking at where we were going. And I stripped the company back a little bit. So we ended 2024 just under 900 and then brought it back up in 2025. And then now we're tracking right now. I think we'll easily go over $1 million this year, the way we're tracking.
Where'd the name Rhino come from? Why Rhino Electric?
Man, I'm so glad you asked that question. If you don't mind, I'm going to slide right back 1 second. Hang on.
By the way, I see the Hormozy books on the wall back there. I love Hormozy.
I love him as well. All right. In 1993, a good friend of mine handed me this book called Rhinoceros Success. It is the first self-help, motivational type book I ever read in my life. And it's a cheesy little book that Dave Ramsey endorses. He gives it to all his employees. And so in 1993, I read this, man, a long time ago. It took me forever to read this little bitty book. But when I read it, something resonated with me. I'll jump off track for a second. My mother told me I was born an entrepreneur. However, after high school and stuff, I met my wife, Jennifer, and I wanted to impress her by getting a good job and these things. I tried starting a car detailing business at one time, and um, it lasted till about winter and nobody wanted their cars cleaned anymore. Anyway, reading the book spoke to my entrepreneur spirit that I was a rhino. I have 2-inch thick skin. I basically run through the jungle knocking down trees. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just stuck with me. So when it came time to name the company, I convinced Jennifer, kind of a story how we got into business was sort of by accident. Jennifer and I both found ourselves unemployed outside of our control. She had both hips replaced and became disabled. I was working for a company out of state traveling. She was fixing to come to work with me with this company. And so I ended up having to leave that company to come home and take care of her because she literally could not walk. The hip replacement didn't go well. It was very bad. And she had to have a second surgery. So I just told her, I said, look, I'll just do electrical work on the side. We got money in savings. We'll be fine for 30 days at least. And no worries. So here we are. So it came time to name the company. The weird thing about it, back in February of 2019, I had a vision of Rhino Electric, envisioned myself starting Rhino Electric. I did it one time, one day, as I was going to sleep in Birmingham, Alabama, living in a travel trailer. And never told anybody about that. So when it came time to name the company, Jennifer said, what do you want to call it? Scott's Electric, Parker Electric? But I was like, no, I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be a culture. I want it to celebrate technicians, electricians, craftsmen. I want to treat them the way they should be treated. I want to find the guys that are elite, and I want to company around those guys, and I want to take care of them. And so anyway, she threw out the name, well, what about Rhino Electric? And I got chills. And I knew immediately that it could only be from God, brother. That's the only way that happened. And so I handed it over to him at that moment, said, okay, it's your company. It's called Rhino Electric. Tell me what you want me to do. And so we put our faith into it. And that was April the 1st of 2019. So we've been just over 7 years now.
Wow. What has been probably one of the biggest challenges you guys have faced over the 7 years?
I think the biggest challenge for me was not charging customers out of my own pocket. Being able to charge in such a way that we could run a profitable company and that we could grow. That has been super tough for me, man, because I have a tendency to look at something and say, that's just too much. You can't charge people that. But man, the service that we offer is 5-star. I mean, we roll the red carpet out. And so we are a premium contractor. So we're not the cheapest in town. I don't think we're the most expensive, but I think for me, that's been my biggest challenge, man, is to really see our value. And I've had to have some coaches that I've hired to come in and help build that into my brain and just to understand the value that we bring, man. And there are people that will pay for that value.
What is the main reason people have you in their houses? Is it like a faulty outlet? Like what, I mean, I've asked electricians this in other states. Is it just something's not working, like something simple?
It is. A lot of times there's outlets not working. We get called in. And so the guys at wirehouses, they do backstabbing of receptacles. And it's completely legal. UL listed. There's plenty of electricians that still do it. They love it. I don't like it. I don't allow my guys
What
to
is
do
it? They're backstabbing? What does that mean?
Yeah. So the wire gets plugged into a little hole in the back of the receptacle. And there's a little piece of metal that just bends down a little bit that holds the wire. To me, I like to make a hook in the wire and wrap it around the screw and tighten it up. And so we find those fail. You'll notice them about 10, 12 years, if not sooner. They'll usually fail. And then so when one goes out, it takes out a line of receptacles. So that's one. People that have problems with electrical panels is a good call for us. And then we do quite a bit of install stuff. This is where a customer would call up and say, hey, I want to get a quote on an EV charger, generator, a generator inlet, for a portable generator, or maybe some new soffit lights, can lights.
Yeah.
We do a lot of installs. I have an install crew that stays busy all the time.
Yeah. Is there anything? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Scott, go ahead. Oh, okay. Is there anything funky about the houses in Louisiana as opposed to the rest of the country? I know in Denver, we have a lot of houses built in like the 40s. They're not equipped properly. You kind of have to do a full upgrade of the electrical. Is there anything funky about Louisiana?
We have a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of 2-wire. There's still some knob and tube. The thing that's unique here in Louisiana, we don't have basements. So we can't go into the house and trace wires. We got to go through the attic. And those attics are really hot. So one of the things in Louisiana is learning how to work in a 150-degree attic. You got to go up there, do what you need to do, and hurry up and get down. The bad thing is you can bring a fan up there, but all it does is stir up the insulation. So you're in a mask, so you just learn to be efficient, man. Make sure you have everything you need before you go up.
That sounds tough. I bet hiring and maintaining skilled labor to get up in 150-degree attics is probably pretty challenging, I would assume.
Man, I've found guys just as crazy as I am, I think. And so I've been so blessed to have a great, great crew, man.
Yeah.
Truly love my guys.
Scott, what's going really well in your business right now? And what's a big challenge you guys are facing?
Man, I'll tell you what's going well for us is leads. We are just stacked up with leads right now, which is amazing. The thing that's not going as well is closing on those leads. A ton of estimates, man, but our closing rate has gone way down. And we recently increased our price a little bit because of the amount of leads we were getting. We might as well look, if we're going to get some, we might as well, but not to be, I think you know what I'm trying to say, not to be shady, but just to kind of sort a few people out and to try to be able to get to the proper jobs that we need to be working on, profitable. So that kind of sorted us out. So, but what's going good is the leads, man. And I think most of that's because I'm a social butterfly and I stay networking all the time. I'm a professional networker that just happens to do electrical work. So a guy taught me a long time ago, man, days and nights, there's always groups of people meeting somewhere for some reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's a B&I meeting, there's another group here called BABR, the Business Associates of Baton Rouge. There's another group that I'm involved with called MNO. It's an online networking group. There are mixers. There's just always places, there's men's Bible studies that I like to go to. Not just, I like to connect because I need to stay grounded. There's just all sorts of networking opportunities that I go to, generate leads.
Yeah.
Ever, knock on wood, I've never paid for a lead. I'm fixing to, because I'm meeting with a guy, which sounds ridiculous, but there's certain types of leads I would like to try to bring in that are a little more profitable. So I want to build a lead magnet around that, so put some ad spend around EV chargers and generators and panel swaps.
I'd love to talk more about that, something that we do. So yeah, I'd love to have a conversation about that. Let's talk about AI for a second. How are you guys integrating AI into your business?
Of course, like most people, man, I'm a junkie for ChatGPT and Claude. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with both of them. So ChatGPT I've used a lot to help take ideas from my head, put it on record, and just talk to chat just like it was an office assistant taking notes. And then I have it break down and put things into documents for me. So I use that. Some of the things that I've been learning about is agentic AI, and that is looking into call centers with AI. And I haven't done it yet, but it's something that I'm looking into. And I really think that that's where the future's going. Just heard too much about it. And I've interviewed too many people that are in that space.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking into how are we going to bring AI into our business soon so that we don't get left behind. I don't want to get so far behind the times that it takes us forever to catch up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think, Scott, it's interesting. I've been doing AI for about a year now, and I've seen what all is capable of. And I just don't understand why you wouldn't want something to take after hours calls and, missed calls. Like it's a slam dunk. And I get it. Like we all want to talk to a human, right? But like, missed calls is missed revenue. So it's a way to leverage your existing staff. I don't think it's a way to replace anybody. And at the end of the day, if anything, like who wouldn't want their best sales guy to be 10 sales guys, right? Well, now you can do that with AI. And that's kind of how I've come to kind of see it.
Yeah. I also think that in the follow-up process on some of our estimates where AI could come in very handy doing that. Now, one of the things that we are starting what we call the Rhino Club. It's kind of like a first class pass for some of our members to join our club. It's not necessarily a maintenance club, but it's just, you get front of line service, you get, 10% off, you get no dispatch fee, these types of things that we're offering. We'll fix the offer. So one of the things I've been looking into with the AI is having them scrub our database, go through all of our existing customers, and then shoot out either SMS messages or emails to let them know that we offer the Rhino Club now, what it's all about. And so we have a database of over 3,000 customers that I would love to just go through and present that to them. So that's something I'm looking into. I'm no expert at it by no means. It's something that I'm educating myself, watching videos, listening to podcasts, meeting guys like you and just learning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's interesting. We had a couple like really complex AI automation projects, Scott, that took us about 6 months. And by the time we got to the end of the 6 months, our what we had built was obsolete. So it's moving so fast, and then every so often something like Claude, Cowork comes out, or Claude Code comes out, and like literally changes the game. And it's interesting. I'm seeing software companies valuations just tank because like you can pretty much build your own tools now. So yeah. What's one thing we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up?
Hmm.
Could be anything, man. Faith, family, hot takes about sports, music. Oh, you said you play in a band. I'd be curious to hear about that.
Yeah, I sang in band for years. Did a lot of 90s kind of alternative rock, grungy stuff,
Yeah.
I haven't done that in probably 10 years, but every once in a while I might slip off to some friends of mine, have a band, go do a song or two with them just for fun. But don't really do the bar scene much anymore. Don't care to do it.
We're talking like Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
man.
Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I have I've gotten into collecting vinyl, and Stone Temple Pilots, dude. I love them. I love their stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what gets me jacked up, man. I have started teaching free basic electrical classes at the local libraries, the third Saturday of every month. I started this last summer. I found out about a group that was doing it for single moms. And I was raised by a single mom, so that meant a ton to me. So I pursued finding these people that were doing this and asked how I could help. And they allowed me to come in and just help facilitate teaching the class. Very basic. And so I was posting on Facebook, social media, that I was doing this, and I had people reaching out going, man, I would love to go to something like that. So through this, I met the director of the library and asked if I could have some time with him. And I sat down and pitched the idea. I said, look, I don't want anything. I will supply everything and do it. So I started doing this without any idea that I would get work from it. I mean, I guess it's not why I did it, but man, the first class I sold a $10,000 job.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
The next class, we sold a $7,000 job. And this
Get
last
out of here.
we got 4 leads this past Saturday, 4 leads out of the class.
Huh. Interesting. When you educate, it just comes back to you. I love that.
Yeah. So, and man, the people love coming to the class. And then one of the other things that I've been having a lot of fun doing is making content, making videos. So in January, I went behind somebody that did their own electrical work, and I was like, gosh, can't believe more people don't burn their house down doing their own electrical. I need to educate these people. So I got into that education mode of, here's the most common things I see DIYers make mistakes with. And I started doing little videos. And then it turned into one day I saw something laying on my desk and I said, I bet you people don't even know this exists. Started there. Next thing I know, I was out on a home inspection repair for my niece, and I made a couple of content videos. And one of them took off and it got over 400,000 views. And then right behind that was 100,000 views. I know there's people that do millions, but for me, my gosh, I was doing 1,000 views to all of a sudden over 1 million views of my Facebook page. And so that's been kind of fun, man, challenging to figure out how did I do that? I don't know exactly what I did to do it. I have some ideas, that I've learned and read and listening to algorithm stuff and listening to Mr. Beast, how he does things, So that's been fun. Jennifer and I are empty nesters. Our son has grown and got his master's degree, graduated college. He's out, doing his own things. Jennifer likes to just hang out after we work. She runs the office, and I enjoy making content. I just enjoy doing stuff in here in my office.
I love that, man. Well, Scott, I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast. How could people find out more about you if they wanted to?
Man, probably one of the easiest way to find is just look up Rhino Electric on Facebook. If you're looking for me personally, you'll have to use the term chemo warrior. And that goes back to I was a leukemia survivor many years ago. And so when Facebook came out, I was the chemo warrior. So you can find me at Facebook /chemo warrior, my personal, and Rhino Electric Services is our Facebook. And we're located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So there's probably a few more rhinos around the country, but we've done pretty good at ranking at least up there for Rhino Electric. We stay pretty active with that.
Yeah.
Of course,
love
LinkedIn.
That. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm on LinkedIn as well. So if you ever hang out on LinkedIn, look up Scott Parker or Rhino Electric.
This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions, they help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored by Grimes Financial Advisors. You've spent time and energy building a successful business, but here's the question. Do you have a real retirement plan or just a pile of investments? Our friends at Grimes Financial Advisors specialize in helping business owners and families create a clear roadmap for retirement through their proprietary retirement blueprint. Instead of focusing only on investments, they look at the entire picture: income planning, taxes, long-term care, legacy planning, and making sure your money is actually working for the life you want to live. I've gotten to know Dustin personally. One of the things that I respect most about him is he believes every financial decision should fit into a bigger plan. You shouldn't just chase returns. So whether you're 5 years from retirement or simply want a second opinion on your financial strategy, I highly recommend reaching out to Dustin and his team. Visit Grimes Financial Advisors to schedule your consultation and start building your own retirement blueprint. This podcast is sponsored by Action Coaching. If you're a home service business owner, ask yourself this: are you constantly chasing new leads or just keeping the business growing? Ben Jordan built a $100 million plumbing and HVAC company. Inside the Action Group, he teaches contractors how to create recurring revenue, strengthen leadership, improve sales, and build systems that reduce the owner's day-to-day involvement. Members get weekly coaching, practical templates, proven scripts, and strategies designed specifically for home service businesses. If you want to get out of the truck, build something that runs without you and creates real wealth, check out the Action Group on School and book your free consulting call. Scott, how are you guys using AI in your business, and how do you feel like it's affecting electrical services?
That's a great question. So for us, I'm going to start basically around technology more than AI first, just to tell you kind of the path where we got where we are. So we started the business, we were using QuickBooks. That's kind of what we knew, invoicing. Then we discovered House Call Pro. And then through House Call Pro, we started to learn there was AI add-ons that you could go in that do things for you, automate things for you. And so that's taken us to just like anybody else, man. My introduction to AI was ChatGPT, and it was several years ago when it was first coming out. You didn't really hear about it much. I had never heard of it when a friend of mine told me about it, and he actually typed in something about Rhino Electric, and it spit out this: Rhino Electric is such and such type of company. And I was like, that's awesome. So for me, I've used AI like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, is the first three that come to the top of mind. One, to write SOPs, standard operating procedures, is to help with our employee handbook. I've been able to take our employee handbook and put it into like ChatGPT and Claude and let it kind of evaluate, make sure I've got things. It's almost having a lawyer, but I've had HR companies review our handbook. I actually had an HR company help me put it together just to clear that up. Perplexity has been a really cool one for checking people out, background checks and things like just kind of, because like if there's anything on a person, Perplexity is going to find it.
That's interesting. That's a new one for me. I haven't heard of people doing background checks with Perplexity. I love that tool. It's a powerful tool. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's intended for, but it works.
No, it's definitely not. It's a large language model, but it's specifically, they hang their hat on deep research. Although I know they recently came out with an agentic offering that is supposed to go toe to toe with, Claude Cowork and stuff. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we are. AI is just the typical things that people use. Now, where I see us going forward with AI could be an AI receptionist to help out. Once I get Jennifer convinced that AI has come a long way, and actually having some, an AI agent answer phone calls that we miss or after hours calls to get her to see the benefit in that and how it could help us.
Yeah.
The AI landscape changes daily, man. So it's like,
it does.
I meet guys like you or somebody that could tell me and educate me on things. But my best thing is just express my pain in my business and listen for opportunities to fix those pains, to make us more efficient. You get an AI bot that could cost a whole lot less than an employee.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Although it's interesting, you look at some of the larger companies now. I saw that Salesforce was going to spend $300 million annually on Claude tokens, because the more that you use these tools, right, it costs money to run these data centers. And so if you're really putting them to work, it actually winds up being more expensive. So it's kind of this ebb and flow, but it's amazing. Like you pointed it out, every 3 to 6 months, something groundbreaking, faster than that now, comes out. Like I was really into the Google announcement the other day with all their stuff. It's an arms race is what it is. All these large, Anthropic and OpenAI, like they're all jockeying but the easiest way, to your point, I think, to think about AI, my company is called Freedom AI. I don't want anyone to get fired. I don't want anyone to lose their job. I believe AI is a way to leverage your best staff. And so who wouldn't want to turn their best technician into 10, right? And so he should not have to go to his truck and fill out paperwork and log into House Call Pro. He should literally just be able to speak into his phone and then on to the next, And so we want to eliminate some of the tedious, monotonous in between work, right? And then the easiest way to think about AI in my mind is replacing somebody. So an AI bookkeeper, an AI receptionist, an AI, social media marketer, right? That's the easiest way to think about integrating into your business. And I think for the service-based guys like you, an AI receptionist, some of the ones coming out, you would have no freaking clue. It's not human. In fact, the two that I see really gaining traction in home services are Avoca and Lace, that I think are really building something special. And all the studies show that the booking rates actually go up, not down. Yeah. And what we do is we don't develop anything proprietary. We just implement existing tools. So I would come in and say, hey, let's set up Avoca for you and integrate it with your tech stack. And, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. There's literally thousands of AI tools out there that can do that,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I guess,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, it's just knowing what's available, man.
Yeah.
If you stay out in there and looking at the landscape, you can find these things, but it's listening to podcasts about these types.
Yep.
Hearing the term generative AI, didn't know what that was, till I started hearing it, all just started popping up. It's a buzzword that's going around now. Just education, man, I think is the key to AI.
Scott, talk about some of the music stuff you do, man. I've seen some videos of you singing at clubs and stuff, singing some, I saw you singing a Stone Temple Pilots song the other day. Is that just kind of fun hobby that you like to do on the
It
side?
is. Now, about 10 years ago, I used to do it every weekend. It's just periodically I'll go blow the dust off the pipes, get out there, do a little singing. I'm kind of a 90s grunge type of guy. I like the Nirvana and the Pearl Jam, the Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, that type of stuff. That's my music.
Yeah.
Music stopped for me in the 90s, except for like Cedar and Chevelle, those newer, but still they're early 2000s. But it's just, man, I tried at one time in my life to actually go out to AR companies. We were writing music with a band that I was with. I never wrote the next three doors down, When I'm Gone. You know what I mean? That really caught the really hooky song. We had some great songs. The problem with AR when you go play for them, am I saying that right? I'm saying AR because that's what I think about all the time was like accounts receivable.
Yeah, that's what people call it. AR, yeah.
Record label opportunities that we would get to go play for. And they would tell us, what else you got? What else you got? I mean, you go play 14 songs for them. What else you got? So I just knew that we never wrote that hit song. The other thing was when I really got heavy into my music career, I was already married with a family. I really chose my family over pursuing a strong music career personally. Because when we were traveling a lot, I was gone every weekend. I missed a lot of time with my son playing music, and that kind of bothered me later on. So I decided to just do it as a hobby and not necessarily pursue it as a career.
What's one thing that you would share with, you do a lot of great content and stuff. You go to libraries, you teach workshops, what's something you would say? And I love that your heart to grow the trades, anybody listening to this podcast, I have a lot of blue collar guys. Any words or thoughts around the movement of the trade industry in general and where you see it going?
I think for sure, man, that we all know that. I can speak from the electrical. We know that there's more electricians retiring and exiting the electrical business than there are coming in. So, and with the data centers being built, all the things, the electrical trade, I think is going to be doctor money before you know it. I mean, guys like Mike Rowe are getting behind it. Gary V is starting to talk about electricians. I mean, it's the wave of the future. We spent so much time in my era. Go to college, get you a good job. College is not for everybody, man. Some of us
Yeah.
enjoy with our hands. Some of us just enjoy fixing things. And what I find the common thing. So if you want to know if you were built to be in the trades, if you like taking things apart when you were a kid and maybe not being able to put them back together, you're probably a perfect candidate to be in the trades.
Yeah.
I find that to be a very common denominator in electricians. We all enjoy taking things. But I do see it growing, man. And with technology the way it is, man, the old pen and paper way of doing things is gone. And you just have so many tools to help run a business now where, you almost had to be a CPA to run a business at one time in your life. And now there's CPAs that specialize in trades. There's just so much more out there now. I mean, even in 7 years since I've been in business, I started my business 7 years ago. The landscape has changed, man. The things that are available to us as business owners, you just got to go find it. You got to know what you need to do and evaluate where your pain points are. Find a solution.
One of my biggest clients is a commercial electrical guy, and he hires probably 1 or 2 electrical estimators from me a month. My VAs in the Philippines, and dude, they're balling, and that's what they're doing. They're doing the data center stuff, And so I'm 100% with you, man. My kids, I'm sending them to trade school, or I'm starting a business with them. I'm definitely not sending them to a traditional 4-year college where they're gonna squander, 200, 300 grand. So yeah, man, I love that. That's a great word. And honestly, there's a lot of opportunities to get into the trades now. And I think many people in the next 10 years will be forced to start a business. Again, the layoffs, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And so if you don't know how to start a business now, you better learn, because at some point you're probably going to be let go. And so the people that are leveraging AI and figuring out how to do work that's irreplaceable are going to be the ones that get ahead. Yeah.
If I could leave the listeners with one word of encouragement, I would say this. I was 48 years old when I finally took the entrepreneur leap, man. I wish I'd have done it sooner. I really do. I mean, everything in my life led me up to that point, so I don't regret the things that I went through to get here. But man, gosh, I'm looking now. Here I am, 55 years old, and these ideas are coming. I've got another business idea in my head called a material runner that I'm working on. Man, just I don't know. I found a new passion. And so I just think, man, if you've been thinking about it, Steve Harvey said it like this. You're standing on the edge of the cliff, you're looking down, and the only way to get that parachute to open is you got to jump, man. So if that encourages one person to just go try and see if you can do it. I think that you'll find that passion, or just you'll feel a passion and a burn you've never experienced before.
Amen. Well, Scott, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thanks for hopping back on for us to re-record a little bit of it. Y'all go check out Rhino Electric. Go follow Scott on Facebook. I've been really impressed with some of his content. He does a lot of great educational stuff, and then occasionally you'll see a video of him singing some Creed or some Stone Temple Pilots or something mixed in with that. So he's a great person to know. And yeah, man, we're cheering you on here on the podcast. Thanks for coming back on.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Andrew.